We're going into today, and I look at the topic and the theme of today's event, what next? What next is not a question that we often ask ourselves when things are going well. Only very few people ask what next when things are fine. What next is a question you often ask yourself when you've hit rock bottom. When there's nowhere to go, when there's bad news everywhere, there's nothing to do. That is the time you really ask, what next? Very few people here would actually get 10 million naira and ask what next. Right? We already know what to do with good things, so there's no need for what next. Or is there anyone that will get 100 million and will be saying, what next? That is scarce. You never find that. That only happens when things are bad, when things are ugly. And the bad news for today is that in a man's life, in every man's life, there's always that time when you've got to ask, what next? And that brings me to the story I'm going to share with you today. Is the story of two boys. Please tell your neighbor, story of two boys. Now, you can see the guys here. Two young chaps, cute boys in their teenage age, young guys, very ambitious. But let's name them, right? So that we can identify who is who. The one on the left, let's call him boy A. Is that good enough? Boy A, and the one on the right, boy B. Two boys, boy A and boy B. These guys, like every one of y'all, had very positive plans for the future. They had that positive aggressiveness. They had that thing that, yes, we're going to make it. Like most of y'all, you and your peers and your friends will say to yourself, we'll make it in life, we'll push through it, we would make it happen, nothing is going to stop us. And they have that common thing that most of you have. We can't make it in Nigeria. Don't tell me you don't have that thought. Nigeria cannot be the place for us. So these guys would always talk about traveling. Everything they want to talk about is how we're going to get on a plane. They play about talking about aircraft, aeroplanes. That's what is in their mind, in their imagination. That's all they dream and talk about every time. And they concluded that, you know what? We're going to leave this country. We're going to leave Nigeria together. And they started talking about it. They started discussing it. How are we going to get on board? How are we going to get our visa? How are we going to get, leave school and, just get out of the country? And like many of you are planning, they decided to leave school and started working towards traveling. So they were applying to different schools outside the country, sending thousands of applications outside. Their own was even more than Yahoo, because they were just tons of universities were just getting different applications. Applying for what? Only God knows. All they wanted was an admission letter. Because once they get the admission letter, they will use it to process. You people know what I'm talking about. Apropos doctor, I'm sure you did it, we all did it, all over. So we know their stories. They just wanted to get out there and they just needed an application letter. So they were doing everything that they could. But as God would have it for them, somehow they could save from their hustling. These are guys that are in their teenage age. So they are about 16, 17. And they could hustle money from family, parents, everything, just put it together. And they were just going from different traveling agencies just to go and get, how do we travel? How much is it? Okay, 300,000, they were raising the money. And of course, after giving them the bill, they were fine. But before they could go and do their visa application, they said, you know what, guys? We need to pray about this thing. Who can pray on this thing for us so that it's sure that we'll go? So they were doing their inquiries there in Lagos to say that, who is the strongest pastor, the reigning pastor? And one man told them, he said, there's no pastor now. The strongest person now is an Afa, a Muslim cleric. Some of you call them imam. That Afa is the one that can pray for you guys and make it happen. No matter he says, anything he says happens. So he's the strongest person. Everybody even knows the man in Lagos. So now these guys went and they went to visit this Afa. Now you can see the Afa and the two boys, boy A and boy B. Like some of us are thinking to do. That some of us are imagining, or even some of us have even done. The prophecy came, and the Alpha said to them, you know what, I see one person leaving. One person will definitely go. But boy B, you You can never even see aeroplane in your life. Don't even waste your time. You can never see a passport. You can never see visa. Just begin to hustle in Nigeria. Forget about this traveling. It can never happen. You know, boy A, these guys are close friends, very close friends. Boy A even had to, you that have the grace will try to beg for the one without grace. That, Baba, what can happen now? Can't we kill Amashisi? Some of you know what I'm talking about. That, Baba, what are the things we can do to? He said, there is nothing. He even checked again. He said, there is nothing that boy B can do. His destiny can never see anywhere outside Nigeria. The two guys left their farm. Of course, sad because that was not the news they were expecting. They were very certain that, you know what, since you're the one going, I'll just support you and I'll be with you. But like that success ego on boy A, since he knows he's the one traveling, he's the one that is going to make it in life. Boy B will even beg for friendship. He will try and go bring him food, try and be with him, try and nurse him, try and play with him. So at least you don't forget him by the time you leave. So he's doing everything to nurse that friendship, knowing that boy A is going. So let me just do everything to invest in this friendship. So by the time he's there, he would do everything to at least be sending me money in Nigeria. But then came one day, boy B asked himself the same question we are asking today. What next? What next was the question. Am I going to sit down and listen to what this Alpha has said? What am I going to do when it's gotten to that stage where even your future has been shown to you by the most powerful being in that area then? Even boy B never even had the funds like boy A. Boy A was the one with the money. Have you done that kind of friendship before? Whereby you follow the money so that by the time that one wants to pay for the food, he will pay for your food as well. Most of you do that, right? At the cafeteria. Yeah. And now boy A cannot comprehend or even communicate with boy B anymore because his success level was high. There was no platform to relate again. That friendship has been altered. When boy A walks, he walks with pride. He doesn't really see boy B anymore. Boy B will go look for him at home. He will say that you tell him that he's not at home. And boy B was just sad. I said, what am I going to do? What next? What next? Am I going to accept this report? Or I'm going to keep pushing? Like I told you before, what next is the question you ask when things go wrong. And I promise you, one day in life, you're still going to ask that question. And you need to know what to do and how you answer that question. And that's why we gathered here today. Boy B decided, you know what? I'm going to give it all I can. I'm not going to care whatever they said or whatever anybody says. He started working on it by himself. Started thinking, coming up with his own ideas. Now, he's not just going to travel. He's going to travel, no funds, rugged prophecies already awaiting you. They've already told you there's no future there. So his assignment is even far worse than most of you sitting in this room. All odds were against this guy. But he kept cracking, kept working online, kept sending his own applications, trying to get... the funny thing is when I listen to this story is that how do you apply for a school without even qualifications? You just apply, send a letter and say, my name is this, I want to be in your school. These guys were just writing a bunch of rubbish, but with the hope that one school will say, we have accepted you. But at some point, he realized that even if they accept him, how would he pay for his flight? His sponsor has been removed from the entire journey. So what is he going to do? He kept hustling. This guy kept pushing, and he kept pushing. He kept cracking it out, and he decided to say, you know what? I'm going to go meet pushers. How many of you know what they call pushers? Those ones are another different level of immigration, of travel agencies. If you have heard of pushers before, raise up your hand. May God not let you know of pushers. Pushers are the ones that will push you without visa. They will push you to any country. Have you heard of the guys that will go via ship? That will go into Libya and they will, no matter how, even by leg, they can get you to America. If you are ready to walk. And there are plenty in Oluwole in Lagos then, if you know the story. So this guy said, you know what? Instead of me to be in this country with all these odds and without money, I would rather go to a pusher. And yes, he met one. An Igbo man. So Igbo Kwen. They are always very creative. They can get you anywhere. And this man was ready. He said, okay, how much do you have? We will play with whatever you have. And he told Boy B, we go now Okada, we go take go. And he put Boy B on a bike. and they set out to leave for overseas on a bike. Yes, they crossed through borders and countries. They went through the Aflao border, the Summy border, got through from Benin Republic, and got into Togo in Lomé. And from Togo, he was supposed to now board, because from Togo, when you go airborne, it's still more lenient. He said the immigration officers there are very much calm, so it's better. Let's go from that side. So Boy B followed. But as young as he is, don't forget the age. Now he's getting to about 17, 18 years old. You can imagine how scary that journey is, because they have to travel very late at night because of the smugglers and the customs. And when they travel at night, the gunshots between the customs and the smugglers, they will have to lay down on the bike, and they will lie down on the floor for hours till those smugglers pass, and they will continue their journey. They did this for days. Boy B kept pushing, that no matter what, I would go. Now, if you were in his shoes, I also think I would think like that. Can you imagine someone saying that you can never even see aeroplane? That means that can't even look up. And funny enough, Boy B was looking up. No plane was flying at that time. Since the day they gave him the prophecy, planes refused to fly over his head. So it was totally believable that he's never going to even see one. Now, Boy B got into Togo, Lomé to be precise, capital city. And that's where he's supposed to take off from. Now, he decided to go to God by himself now. Because now they've told him all the gods he has gone to meet through the servants have told him no. So let me go, or let him go through God. That was his thought. And he started praying and fasting and praying and fasting. To be honest with you, when you don't have the right papers to travel abroad, you will pray and fast. It's people that have the right things that don't even do those things. Even people who have visas still pray and fast in this country. I don't know why. They are not still started. So you can imagine somebody who doesn't even have anything. And you remember he was speaking to that pusher. He said, "Oh God, but this country where they go, I don't know anybody." That guy said, "If you go there, just the waka straight. Anybody where you see one black man, two black man, the third man, a Igbo man, talk to that, he will help you." That was what he told him. That out of every 3 black people abroad, one will be a Nigerian. Just talk to him, hold him, beg him, hug him. He will take you home. Just don't let him go. So that was all the things that was programmed. But the problem where Boy B started realizing there was an issue was that this pusher will come every morning and wake him up in his hotel and say, "You still asleep? Stand, make we pray now." He said, "Why are we praying this much if you say this thing is certain? We will just pray." They will pray for hours, for like 4 a.m. to like 7 a.m. every day because of this journey. Boy B was ready. Now he's got God on inside. He's backed up with everything. He got to the airport in Togo. For the first time, he saw an aeroplane. Let's put our hands together for him. He saw the aeroplanes, and now he believed that, yes, that prophecy is over. Now I've seen an aeroplane. What is that Muslim cleric saying? What's that Alpha saying? This is a plane right here that I'm looking at. It looks nice, and yes, I will get on board. And he got on board. Put your hands together for him again. He got on board. And they flew as they were connecting to Canada. And in Charles de Gaulle in Paris, he was deported. Now, put yourself in his shoes. He has already been told. So somehow he felt like maybe it's his prayer that pushed him a bit to see the aeroplanes. And the prayer that pushed him a bit to get into one. This guy was deported. Nothing was working. And when he shared one powerful part, when they took him back to his hotel room, he was fighting with God. So I say, you know what, there's no God safe. Kill me if there's God. Which God? I prayed, I consulted, I did everything. There's no God. God has ruined everything. There's no God. If some of you have seen Bruce Almighty, it was like, "Smite me, Almighty smiter." So that God can just kill him. And God did not respond. I'm sure God was just laughing at him. But it was certain. So he was fighting, he was angry. But somehow, he still didn't give up. Boy B kept pushing. He went back to his drawing book. Kept applying, kept pushing, kept applying, kept pushing. Even the pusher now has left him. To say, you know what, this is your matter. I don't want to carry people past this journey. They are used to saying those things, those people. I don't want to carry this part, I don't want to use this part. Now only your head, now this thing no work. So Boy B knew that it was him. He kept working out and working out and working out. And somehow, Boy B made it into the country of his dreams. Boy B, that we're talking about right now, has gotten to different countries all over the world. Boy B has flown a plane before. Someone they say will never fly a plane. Boy B has been in different private jets in his life. Boy B only travels business class. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Boy B. Now you need to understand something. What next is what brings us here today. But this same guy you're looking at here flying this plane is the same guy they told that he would never see an aeroplane in his life. And one of the reasons he wanted to do is, you know what, I will not just fly in one, I would fly one. This same guy that they said is the one in different private jets with different top people across Africa, across the world, in different type of private jets. Whatever aircraft you want to say, the same person that they said. And this same guy is the one that only flies business class. No matter the report or what is in front of you, no matter the bad news, in front of you now or ahead of you, the next thing you should ask yourself is, am I going to take a step of faith, a step of courage, and a step to my own vision, to my own destiny? Till today, ladies and gentlemen, I am still looking for that Alpha. I want to put him on a private jet so that I can not just cancel his prophecy, I would also cancel it upon his own life to prove to him that what you have said does not define me. My destination is forever my motivation. Listen to me carefully. Where you are going in life should always be the motivation, because you will find stumbling blocks every year, and in school, in your academics, whether be whatever they call you as a failure, but have a clear picture of your destination. And every time you feel weary and tired, open up that picture. It could be your business office, it could be the picture of your house, it could be the picture of your family, of your kids. I bet you that picture will motivate you, it will give you the extra energy that you need to take off. I thank you all for listening to me. My utmost respect and love goes out to you all. My name is Summy Francis, and I am nothing without God.